Welcome. In front of me I have the brand new ZenFone 12 Ultra from ASUS, and I'll go over unboxing along with a quick look at the device itself. Now let me quickly find my knife, there we go, and get straight into it. Okay. Now, I don't think they've gone through 12 generations of it, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so packaging looks like all recycled based on the kind of bit of like a fabric kind of look to it. There's some strands and stuff like that. Now that's chilly. It just arrived, so I guess that's expected. Now here we have some paperwork, and can't you just make it so it peels the fucking glue from it instead of rips it apart? Okay, anyway, here we have the plastic hard shell casing with a little logo that you can see right here, and the phone itself. Oh. Why does everything have to rip? There we go. Ooh. Yep, the phone is a bit chilly. You can kind of see it from the moisture that is settling when I'm touching it. But anyway, below we will have our cable, and this is a Type C to Type C. And that's about everything that we have in the box. There's nothing else. So, moving on to the device. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go through a quick setup just so we can see this in full glory, ignoring basically as much as I can. Come on, skip. Are you kidding me? Gonna block me? Okay. Leave me alone. There we go. Okay. So, here's the device fully set up. Now, in terms of size, it is, I would say, a little bit smaller than the Ultra. Actually, I might be able to grab it if it's not right now being used. Let me quickly check. Samsung, oh no, never mind, it is being used. But it is a tiny bit smaller than the Ultra, and in terms of width, it's definitely not as wide as the S25 Ultra, which I did have my hands on not too long ago. Now, the reason I'm pointing that out is because Ultra is right now basically the new device that everyone talks about. So I want to also quickly check the price, if I actually can find it, which I'm struggling with finding it. Just quickly search for it. As for the most part, obviously, how much the device costs will be a defining factor if it's worth getting or not. And this one comes at about $1,000 or $1,100 almost. That would include tax already. So with tax, about $1,100, though it looks like it's on sale right now on the official, like maybe not official, but on the XCOM website, which is like Polish version of Best Buy. So it is down from 4,900 PLN, which would be about $1,200. So about $100 less. So anyway, for $1,100, it is I would say a steep ask for a device. Now, for that price, we get a 6.78-inch display. Like I said, just a little bit smaller than the Ultra. It's a 1080p by 2400 resolution LTPO AMOLED display running 144 Hz refresh rate, HDR10, though no certification with 10 plus, 1600 nits typical brightness, and a peak brightness of 2500 nits. It also boasts a 88% screen to body ratio. That cannot be right. There is more than 88% here, I'm pretty sure. And 388 pixels per inch, covered with the Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Now, I do want to point out, I'm getting all these informations from GSM Arena, though they are, for the most part, right. I've seen them not be too accurate with the screen-to-body ratio several times already. So that's why I'm kind of pointing out that this might not be the case, as it looks like there is, I would say, over 90% screen-to-body ratio here, with a slightly bigger bezel right at the bottom and then everywhere else. So it's not like fully symmetrical, but the difference is very minuscule in terms of size all around. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about the internals. Now, the device comes with a 5500 mAh battery. For its size, I'm pretty sure it's not using the new type, considering it's only 5.5K. Does it say right here? And it does not state. So yeah, I think it's using the typical normal lithium-ion battery right here. So it's not going to have the bigger capacity like some other devices, for instance, like the ZTE Nubia Z70 Ultra does, with similar size of the phone, actually maybe just a bit bigger, but that one has like 1000 milliamps more. In terms of charging speed of this battery, we're looking at 65 watts on a cable and wirelessly 15 watts. So it does support wireless charging, which is pretty nice. And then if we flip it over, you can see the camera setup. We have a triple camera setup, and the main sensor is a 50 megapixel f1.9 aperture, 24 millimeter wide lens. Then we got a 32 megapixel f2.4, 65 millimeter telephoto, and 13 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide. Now, those cameras, you can record videos up to 8K at 24 frames, and at 4K you can do up to 60, and obviously 1080p does all that, plus slow motion of 120 and 240. And then at the front, in the hole punched camera, we have a selfie of 32 megapixel f2.5 aperture wide sensor that does 1080p 30 frames, which is a bit of a disappointment considering it's only up to 30 frames. So those are the cameras. Now if we talk about these specs, so this device at the lowest end comes with 12 gigabytes of RAM and storage 256 gigabytes of storage, UFS 4.0, powered by a Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is the newest processor that you can get right now. So the best one, and also the same one that the Samsung, the new S25s all come with. Now you can also get this device with half a terabyte and 16 gigabytes of RAM if that is something that you need. So keep in mind, the higher storage automatically comes with more RAM, which obviously you might be spending more for this. If you just want to upgrade the storage, you're forced to upgrade RAM as well, even though 16 gigs is, I would say, wholly unnecessary considering this is a phone. Even MacBooks come with 8 gigabytes of RAM and they can do their job, so phones don't have this much of a need for that much RAM. But in any case, it is here. Now, talking about the build quality right here, it does feel really nice in hand. I do want to point that out, as it's, considering you're going to be holding it, it has rounded edges all around, along with rounded glass right here. So it does lay a bit nicely in your hand. You can see there's like a curvature right here. So it does feel kind of nice when you're holding it. It doesn't dig into your arm or your hands all that much. So that's pretty nice feeling when you're holding it. Then we have our power button and volume rockers on the right side. At the top we have just antenna bands. On the left we have more antennas, which they're like everywhere here. And at the bottom we have our Type-C, which is on the side, our dual SIM tray. I'm pretty sure this is just SIM tray, but I am going to check. And it is just a dual SIM tray. Our speaker grill, and something that you might not know what that is. That's a what's called a headphone jack, which this device still comes with because it somehow managed to fit it. I'm still not sure how Samsung with a thicker device can't manage to fit a headphone jack there. Anyway, so that's it. In terms of the design at the back, we do have a glass back aluminum frame, and the glass back right here has etched logo right here. So ASUS ZenFone. Obviously this comes off, so you don't need to worry about that. And this comes in this minty color. Let's actually see what the actual name of this color is, and it is not specified, or I just can't find it, unless it's going to be here. Well, there's just a bunch of Chinese letters, so I can't read that. So there we go. So for over $1,000 you get a pretty decent device. I do want to point out that at this price range I feel like it's coming a little bit too close to the Samsung Galaxy S25, which arguably will offer a better value if you're looking for like the big brands. As the Samsung, you get a 200 megapixel main shooter with better software. This is running primarily what could be called almost a stock Android. Now I know it's not really stock Android, it does have a bunch of ASUS kind of things here, but when it comes down to it, Samsung does offer a very nice software for their devices, and I don't want to kind of dispute that. So this one just feels kind of bland compared to how much it costs. There's not much offered here outside of just an additional included plastic case. So considering you can get Samsung S25, which comes with a stylus, for just a little bit more, that might be a much better option compared to, well, this right here. Previously, I would say that ZenFones had their use cases as they released these small ones, which were like 6.1 inches or something like that, or 5.8, I don't exactly remember. So those were catering to people that wanted a small device but still have decent amount of power. This is just more of a typical slab of glass in terms of size. Same thing as whatever we have right here, Huawei. Boom, exactly the same size, so groundbreaking stuff right here. And I can bring up the S25 Plus, that's going to be basically the same size. So yeah, it's just another slab of glass in reality. Not much groundbreaking stuff happening here. Now, the thing that ASUS offers, I'm pretty sure is a... Oh, no, never mind. They don't even offer that. So, Android 15, that's what it comes with, and it offers up to 2 years of major Android updates. It's not really mentioned by GSM Arena on what the software updates will be for like security patches, how long they're going to support that. But I'm pretty sure the previous ZenFones did have longer life support compared to just a typical other devices that you can get on the market. And something that also Samsung does is Samsung offers 7 years of major Android upgrades. So if you pick up something like the S25, you can get massive like 7-year life cycle for this device while not worrying about any kind of vulnerabilities that might be introduced with some Android, and then obviously won't be patched up. So there we go, that's basically the phone. To be honest, it's just another slab of glass with what you would expect at this price tag, which I feel like it's lacking in certain departments. So just want to kind of point out, I haven't tested out the cameras, but considering it comes with a 50 megapixel sensor, while already competition has like 200, 65 watts of wired charging, while competition does over 100 watts, 5,500 milliamps, while competition does over 6,000 milliamps. It just seems like it's lacking in a lot of different things for the price. And truth be told, if you're not looking for a, I don't know how to describe it, a branded phone, not really, you can pick up much better devices in terms of price to performance than this. And one of those which I picked up was the Nubia Z7D Ultra, which is just going to be a little bit bigger, has basically the same specifications, but costs about $650 US. It's dirt cheap. And in terms of photos, I I'm pretty sure I don't need to check, but I am relatively certain it's going to capture better photos than this device will. So that's something that you could look into if you're interested. So there we go. Now, with that out of the way, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.